This is Chinese food. These are soup dumplings and noodles that we all know about. But today I'm visiting Little Italy, just a block north of New York City's Chinatown. Would you come to Little Italy for Chinese food? Let's find out. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. After walking through a Little Italy market full of vendors and restaurants, I landed at JoyFu Dim Sum, a new large and sleek restaurant right at the foot of Little Italy. What truly surprised me was their soup dumpling window as I stepped in. Today, I'll review some of their signature dishes. Will this restaurant offer authentic taste despite its location? Let's find out. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. Today, I'm coming to you from Little Italy, right next to Chinatown in Manhattan. And I'm literally just one block north of Canal Street, which is Little Italy. Today, I'm going to a restaurant that is just having their grand opening this week. And the name of the restaurant is JoyFu Dim Sum. This is what their menu looks like. I'm here during the dinner time, and the menu is quite simple. It's only two-sided. This particular restaurant serves things that are very generalized, many different types of favorite Chinese foods. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you the menu and let you know what they have on that menu. You'll be pretty amazed at how diversified their menu is. It represents every region in China. So yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the JoyFu Dim Sum menu. I was really having a lot of fun because when I typed in JoyFu on my phone, it said joyful. So I'm wondering if the food is also joyful. Here's the menu. They give you the brand story. And over here, you can see their signature items. They have about 7 different types of soup dumpling dishes, a whole bunch of steamed dumplings, and we move on to here. We have a bunch of soups, desserts, and also 9 types of dim sum. Next, we have the cold appetizers, the chef specials, and to be honest, a lot of these are Cantonese looking, except for the mapo tofu. And here are some of their fried items, some fried chicken wings. And also here's their famous signature noodle. This is the largest because what they want to do is to accentuate the most famous dish here, which is this beef soup, signature beef noodle soup. Next we have the fried rice, some drinks, and that's it. Before I begin eating, I want to show you some of the condiments that they have on the table. It's very well organized. We have a vinegar here. That's to go with the soup dumplings. We have some regular soy sauce for you to add more salt to your food. And then we have some chili oil. So let's take a look at the chili oil. Chili oil looks pretty much homemade, so it's more oil than chili, but we can definitely get good flavors even without the chili. So what we're going to do is that we're going to use these condiments in our meals tonight. We ordered the signature beef noodle soup, and this particular dish looks so nice and fancy. In fact, as I had mentioned before in the menu introduction, what they do here is that they accentuate the fact that there's plenty of beef in this dish, and also the fact that this is their supposedly most popular dish. So what I can see here is that I have a bunch of beef shank. I have maybe 6 pieces here, and they're really good sizes. They're about a quarter to a 1/3 of an inch thick. They feel really soft when I hold them in my chopsticks. And we have a bunch of the wheat noodles that they provide over here. And not only that, let's take a look at the broth. The broth itself looks really nice and dark, nice and robust. I actually smell a lot of the beef broth smell coming up toward me. And here's some bok choy. So this particular dish is actually pretty big. It's about $19, but if the quality is as good as it looks, I'm really going to like this. So we're going to try this. I'm going to try the signature beef noodle soup, Min or Min. And this is what it looks like. And look how tender this beef looks like. So I'm going to dip it in some of that broth and go right into the beef. Super tender. That broth is actually really good. It has a little bit of spice in it, surprisingly. But let's just concentrate on the beef. The beef is actually nice and boiled down. because shank takes time to become soft, and they've done a pretty good job boiling down the shank. If you take a quick look over here, you can see some of that tendon on the inside of that shank. So yeah, it's a very nice mouthful. Good combination of meat and tendon. Yeah, they got the tenderness right, so the beef is excellent. The next component I want to try is the broth. So here it is. I see a little bit of that red chili oil on top. I didn't put anything in there. It just looks red on top. So let's try this. Surprisingly, the heat is actually pretty light. The beef stock is not totally beefy, is not totally translucent. I would say it's about like 60% there. So actually it is a pretty light beef stock. It's pretty interesting, but not a lot of heat. So not bad. The next component I'm trying are the noodles. Now these are probably wheat noodles. So let's try this. Yeah, I love the chewiness of the noodles. The interesting thing here is that usually when you have wheat noodles, it can either be very dense or light. For some reason, this particular noodle is on the lighter side, not on the dense side. So because of this, I feel like I can eat a lot of these noodles. You can also see that the broth is sticking onto these noodles. So you can see the slightly red and brown color on these noodles. They soak up all of that flavor. Let's try the bok choy. There's not a ton of bok choy in here, but it does its job. There's about like 7 or 8 pieces in there. But the most strong and very satisfying part of this dish are the amount of noodles that you get. Now, I'm putting my chopsticks into this dish and I'm getting about 3.5 inches deep of noodles. There's a lot of noodles in there. If you think $18 to $19 worth of these noodles is too much, I think the value proposition is still there because you're getting plenty of noodles and you're getting very good quality beef shank. Not bad. I ordered the mango spicy wings. Now this is a fried chicken with mango sauce on it. As you take a look at the mango sauce, it actually is more brown than a light colored mango sauce. There's some green onions on top, scallions, and there appears to be about 5 different pieces in this order. These particular wings appear to be about 1 3/4 inches. So they're the medium-sized type of wings. And this particular dish is an appetizer. So we're gonna try this. For an appetizer, I ordered the spicy mango wings. Now this is what it looks like. These are all about medium-sized wings. They're not the extra large ones, they're not the super tiny ones, but they just appear to be the right size. Let's try this. I do taste the mango. I do taste the feel the crispiness of the skin. And I also feel that the sauce is actually very strong. There's a lot of sauce on it. And the flavor notes here is that it's sweet. I would say probably to like 70%. What's interesting about this wing is that it tastes very Western. It doesn't taste like Asian cooking. I don't know why, but presumably the sauce is what makes it Asian. So yeah, I mean, I think this is something that you can get at Buffalo Wild Wings. But I mean, it's good. It's still chicken wings, but I would have preferred more of the Asian flavoring in this. So yeah, it's okay if you're seeking something that is less Asian. I wanted to give you another look at the chili oil that they had on the table. As you can see, this looks very homemade. These are probably been pan fried and then all the oil has been added afterwards. So this actually looks really good, but I'm wondering what the heat content of this chili oil is. So I'm gonna have this with some of the noodles and some of the beef shank. Now's the time to try the chili oil. I put a good bit of it into this noodle. So let's try this. The chili oil, I must say, is actually very Cantonese in nature. Cantonese chili oils have a very earthy tone to it, like they've been roasted over fire. It's not particularly spicy, maybe 4 out of 10, but it's good because with that roasting, with that pan stirring, you can tell that this is probably made in the kitchen, not a bottled sauce. So yeah,
This is pretty good. And there are several dishes here that can use that chili oil. I would say the dumplings. And there's also an entire section of the menu that concentrates on steamed dumplings. So that could definitely help with those steamed dumplings. I ordered the pork soup dumplings, and this particular soup dumpling is sort of in the middle size range of soup dumplings. It's about, I would say, about 1 3/4 inches in diameter. And this is a good sign. It doesn't have that big dough top. It won't be too thick with the dough. The skin appears to be pretty thin. So what I'm going to do is that I'll break this open and take a look at what they have. So as you can see, the soup is a very light soup, and it appears to have some pork residue there. So yeah, this is actually on the lighter side of pork soup. Let's take a look at the dumpling, the meat, and the meat is actually kind of bouncy. It's holding shape together pretty well. So yeah, I can't wait to try this. The smell is actually super porky. I'm getting a lot of that. Okay, the pork soup dumplings just came to the table, and this is the most basic soup dumpling they have. They have other fancy looking ones with multiple colors, but I'm a traditionalist, so I like to try their base soup dumpling, and this is what they got. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to take my spoon so that I don't lose any of that soup. Let's try this. Yeah, before I just showed you that the soup is very light, but don't let that fool you. Actually, that clear soup has tons of flavor. I'm totally surprised. A lot of times when I see that clear color, I get pretty disappointed, but yeah, this is actually very tasty. This is wonderful. Their version definitely hits the spot. And the reason why it hits the spot is because there's a strong pork component, a strong pork flavor. And there's also some of that ginger component in there. I can taste that. The skin itself, to have a nice delicate soup dumpling, is nice and thin. It's not overly doughy. So let's try some of that ginger sauce on the soup dumplings. That's what people normally have with these dumplings. Let's try it. When you add that vinegar to soup dumplings, just picks it up, makes that fat kind of go away, adds another dimension. Very good start for something that looks very simple, but it's actually super flavorful. I like it. I wanted to say something quick about the trend of restaurants in Chinatown. This particular restaurant, today is July 31st, 2026. This particular restaurant is very, to me, very typical of the new restaurants that are opening in Chinatown. As Chinatown is becoming more serving towards the tourists, basically I feel that Chinatown has more of these types of restaurants. Basically Chinese restaurants that don't serve one particular type of Chinese cuisine. It's actually like a diversified menu of Chinese items. As evidenced in this menu that I just showed you, this particular menu has items from the Northeast, from Guangdong, from Sichuan. So yeah, it's basically not focused. What it does is that I feel that it takes the greatest hits of everything and puts it all into one menu so that it could satisfy the tourists to come here. I also think maybe more of the modern people who are living here, people who are younger. So yeah, there's a place for mom and pops, but I feel that these types of restaurants which sell the various types of Chinese cuisines are becoming more prevalent. The next soup dumpling that I ordered is the pork crab meat soup dumpling. And you can tell because it has a little dollop of crab meat on top. And the dimensions are about the same. It's about 1 3/4 inches in diameter. So let's break this open and let's take a look at that. Oh, look at that. Now you can see that this is some of that crab oil. It's also part of the soup. There's also that pork stock that's coming out. And let's take a look at the meatball. Let's see how much crab we actually get. Okay, there isn't a ton of crab in here. So let me break it open. Maybe it's in the center. Okay. Yeah, there isn't much crab in here. But what I'm suspecting is that a lot of the crab flavor is probably in the broth. So yeah, let's give this a try. I'm pretty excited. Now's the time to try the pork crab meat soup dumpling. And this is what it looks like. I suspect that most of the crab flavor, as I just went through, is in that soup. Here's a complete soup dumpling that I haven't opened yet. Let's try this. Yes, just as I thought, all that crab flavor is in the soup. There must be some kind of crab stock that they use to make that soup. It definitely tastes different from the pork soup dumpling that I just had. And this particular soup dumpling is not like other places where you would see a little bit of the crab on top of the pork, but the only bit of crab you would see is on the outside, a little bit of the yellow on the outside of the top of the dumpling. But for this one, most of the flavor is definitely in the broth. So yes, you are getting crab soup dumplings when you're ordering this dish. But to be honest, my preference is for the original. Here's that pork, and ginger flavor was excellent in the first one, but this is not bad. I want to make a slight correction to my review of the crab soup dumpling. As you can see, there is definitely some crab that's worked into the meatball, but to my eyes, the color of the crab blended into the meat, so I couldn't really see last time, but yeah, it's there. And now's the time for your favorite part of the show. Ta-da! The star of the show. And today, the star of the show was, I put a lot of thought into it. It just turned out to be the dish that this restaurant pushes quite a bit, especially with a huge picture on the menu. And what is that dish? It's the signature beef noodle soup. It's this big boy over here. Now, don't be put off that this particular dish is $18 to $19. This particular dish has plenty of food in it, plenty of beef, plenty of noodles. I mean, this is a one dish meal, and I think that is its intention when it was created. The interesting thing about this dish is that from beef noodle soups that I've had in the past, they don't add the chili oil into the bowl, but over here they create it. It's not making the soup super filled with heat. So I would say that they do it in a very nice, subtle way. You can always add more heat, but to me, this is very filling, and you're getting a lot of value for this particular bowl. So yeah, I can easily see why this is something that they push on their menu, and to me, it's the star of the show. Ah, what a meal. If you ever find yourself in Little Italy, there is a Chinese option. And this Chinese option is right at the foothills of Little Italy, right off of Canal Street. So come here and you get a full-sized Chinese restaurant. This restaurant is actually pretty big. I see an entire dining room in here with booths and also with regular four-seater tables. And also over my shoulder, if you see that, that appears to be a second floor. It's amazing how big this space is. This place is very, very interesting. It's smack in the middle of Little Italy, actually at the front of Little Italy, and it serves Chinese food. So yeah, if you don't want to cross the divide, cross Canal Street to get into the real Chinatown, this is the place to go. You know, the prices are pretty reasonable, so you won't be disappointed by that. So yeah, they're in their grand opening stages. They've only been open for a week and a half, and I'm here just to try their food. So yeah, if you're in the neighborhood during the San Gennaro Fair, nah, I'm just kidding. If you're in the neighborhood, give it a try. It's new, and yeah, it deserves a visit from you. The final check before tip is $48.43.